Throughout OS history, the battle for the PP record has been intense, unexpected, and fostered intriguing competition between top players.
YouTube, I am very sorry that this is a PP record.
That's the polar opposite of mrekk's score that broke the 2000 PP barrier, a 1-miss, 5-slider break play on the lower difficulty of Songs Compilation 6 with hidden double time. Some players tried to contend with him, but no one is even close to mrekk's score on this map. The second best miscount is 9 from Neon Potato, and even he falls short of mrekk's monstrous 99.2% accuracy. The map is monotonous at best and boring to watch. mrekk literally started apologizing after he said it.
So I do think that my play shouldn't be worth 2K.
How did we even get here? To answer that question, we need to briefly cover how the combo scaling rework came to be. Before it was implemented, combo scaling was the primary factor for how scores were valued. If you missed in the middle of a map, especially 1 over 3 minutes, your score was basically worthless in comparison to the FC value. The well-intentioned logic behind the rework was correcting a huge discrepancy between the skill needed to do well on long, consistently difficult maps, and the disproportional punishment for making a single mistake. On your way down to the comments to type your hot take about CSR being actually bad, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. The combo scaling rework was a strong step forward in balancing the PP system. However, no one expected how quickly people would find exploits in the system, specifically on short, fast aim maps. These maps have always been relevant for farming, but CSR propelled them from being valuable back to the dominant meta. You could miss a few times and receive most of the PP since combo scaling was no longer a factor. This has exploded into its own genre, aim slop. Mappers were quick to produce easily readable, high-spaced aim maps that promoted retry spamming. These maps have become the path of least resistance for anyone looking to rank up. Which brings us to Songs Compilation 6, and more pertinently, Sotarks. He's no stranger to exploiting the PP system. He pioneered the 1-2 meta back in 2017, adapted to the stream meta of 2019, and has now returned to aim maps. He's directly involved with many of the current aim slop sets, either as a host, such as Rule and Kokono Sensei, or as a guest difficulty like another set of Potaru and a Nightcore version of Poison. Regardless of your stance on Sotarks, don't harass him on his social media accounts. This isn't even the complete picture of his influence in the mapping community though. He's been an active mentor for years in the OS Mapping Mentorship Program. The program provides a direct link between new and experienced mappers, where new mappers can have a reliable resource to get feedback from. He mentored mappers like Reform and Only Biscuit, who you may recognize from Tsukinami and Sunglow. Both of these maps had the PP record set on them, with Sunglow by yours truly, mrekk. He was screaming when he set his Sunglow score, and stylistically, the map is not much different compared to Songs Compilation 6. Why is there such a stark difference in his reactions? As the title suggests, Songs Compilation 6 is the 6th installment in the series created by Sotarks. These maps chronicle Sotarks' progression as a mapper, and none are more apt to describe his influence on the farm meta than the first one. The first Songs compilation was a collection of the most popular maps with 1-2 jumps, originally called the Ultimate PP Compilation. It had 2 mods on the discussion thread before being nominated by one BN, Aelv. Before the map could be nominated by a second BN and qualified, it was struck down by the quality assurance team and prevented from entering the ranked section due to abusing the PP system. Aelv was kicked from the beat map nominators as a consequence for nominating it, setting off a firestorm that argued about the quality of the map. Aelv was reinstated a few days later after many walls of text were sent, resulting in extensive changes to the map and changing the title to Songs Compilation. After being embroiled in controversy, the map was ranked in March 2018. Although it didn't go smoothly, Sotarks fulfilled his goal of ranking a map that openly and deliberately exploited the PP system. But that wasn't enough for him. He wanted to be the creator of a map that would break the PP record. And the thing is, Songs Compilation was actually his second attempt at making such a map. His first attempt was the full version of Kimi no Shiranai Monogatari. It was designed for Mathy, a rising player at the time with remarkable DT aim. Mathy actually did FC the map while it was pending for 750 PP. He would return to the map once it was ranked and FC with much higher accuracy, netting him 841 PP. The score was only 9 pp short of the record set by FG Sky on Shiori, during an era where 800 pp scores were few and far between. This sparked a massive controversy, with people accusing Sotarks of colluding with Mathy in order to manufacture high pp scores. It was so bad that Mathy was eventually witch hunted and ostracized from the community, stunting the growth of one of the game's most talented players. Considering the score Mathy set was only 9 pp away from the record on his map, it seemed Sotarks was not satisfied with getting so close to success and still failing. The failed attempt had emboldened him to rank Songs compilation, which would have been pp record at the time it was ranked if someone FC'd with hidden double time. Unfortunately for him, the first DT FC on the map wouldn't be set until November 2018 by Badiou. His score was DT only and not high enough accuracy to be close to the pp record. With these maps underneath his belt, Sotarks returned to the drawing board and considered his options. Later in 2018, Sotarks tried again by making Raise My Sword. The hard rock meta was in full force, with hard rock player Idki at his peak and setting the pp record on Honesty in July 2018. He referred to the map as the 1000 pp project and designed it as a stream consistency farm map for hard rock players, with numerous space streams sprinkled throughout to boost aim pp. The map would see hard rock FCs, most notably from BTMC, but 1000 pp was ultimately never achieved on it. Part of the package for a good stream farm map is that it needs to be easy for players to achieve high accuracy on. Mappers accomplish this by selecting songs with only one timing point and using intuitive rhythms. Sotarks failed in both departments, most spectacularly with the song choice. Raise My Sword is littered with timing points because the song was not mastered with a metronome, resulting in the timing changing mid-stream in some cases. This doesn't make the map unplayable, but when every single 100 matters to maximize accuracy pp, it was not a wise song choice. While Sotarks would go on to rank hundreds of maps of varying styles, his attempts for making a barrier-breaking map were paused until a couple months ago. Ever the opportunistic mapper, he recognized the appeal for a songs compilation based on high BPM aim maps that mrekk was dominating. His connections, along with his mapping experience, allowed him to produce the map quickly and push it to rank even faster. It was touted as the aim slop compilation and ranked with 2 difficulties: a huge collab difficulty intentionally clocking in at 7.27 stars, and a slightly higher difficulty made exclusively by him. The map passed seamlessly into ranked on April 12th. And the intention of the set was clear: use the combo scaling rework, along with the length bonus, to make a map that mrekk could achieve 2000 pp on. He wouldn't even need to FC. All mrekk had to do was get a run with low enough miscount and solid accuracy, as either difficulty was worth way more than 2000 pp for FC. And that's exactly what mrekk did.
I'm so sorry. Yes! Oh my god!
Immediately after setting the score, mrekk began apologizing and began discussing how he thinks he can do better.
People anyway, bro. I mean, like, I don't care about them, but I'm also pretty sad about it myself because I got like 7 slaughter bricks. Like, I don't think it's deserving of 2k. So I do think that my play shouldn't be worth 2k. I know a lot of people are not gonna like this 2k, but theoretically, like, what map would be more likely to be a cool 2k?
That's a peculiar reaction from someone who just broke the second and potentially last 1000 pp barrier, which should have been a monumental playing milestone. No one else in the community can match his score, and it's not like the map is easy either. 4.5 minutes of minimum 350 BPM aim agility is difficult no matter how it's mapped, especially at the 10.5 star level. Why doesn't the play feel special? Because the first 2000 pp play was set on a map that was the product of a 7-year-long controversial journey to manufacture a new record, created by a mapper whose motivation was strictly for personal gain. Not only is the map a collection of the most optimal parts from songs to map high BPM jumps to, but the compilation itself is composed with the tempos of the songs in reverse order. Instead of increasing throughout the compilation and culminating in the fastest song, it starts with the fastest song first and decreases from there. This creates a reversed difficulty curve where the hardest part of the map is at the beginning and easily retryable. Sotarks has perfected this formula, having previously done it in both Songs Compilation 1 and 4. If you can combo the beginning, you have the skill to FC the rest of the map. That doesn't make the rest of the map easy, but mrekk is so consistent at this skill set that he's guaranteed at least a solid run if he gets through the beginning without fumbling. The PP records that the community reflects on most positively are ones that occurred naturally with a compelling storyline. Shigatora's Freedom Dive 4 Dimensions hidden Hard Rock FC is the primary example of this. The map had been his playground for years beforehand. He progressed from setting the first ever Nomad FC to a ridiculous 1/100 FC before his ban. Everyone thought that was the bitter end of a generational talent until it was discovered he had started playing again on an alternate account. He later had a private conversation with Peppy, who personally unbanned him. Shigatora would proceed to set a Hard Rock FC with 99.13% accuracy before finally submitting the hidden Hard Rock score we all remember. The score was a culmination of a 4-year storyline that represented Shigatora's turbulent history, along with being an incredible score in general. Freedom Dive was designed to be a hard map, but it wasn't created specifically to break the PP system. Same thing with Tsukinami, although it had far more comfortable aim patterns, which ended up being the defining moment of Vaxei's 2019 comeback. Or mrekk's plays on Marianne and Inoyo Iki. They're special plays because you don't expect them to be PP record. You're surprised that players are as good as they are and can play maps that seem impossible. The allure of perfection was also present because of the presence of combo scaling in the past. Full combos were necessary to secure a score, which placed far more nerves on the players attempting to go for the record. Even though the system is different now without combo scaling and many speed buffs, it's objectively better than the past. Don't let the rose-tinted glasses of nostalgia fool you. If Evoxa's DT score on the violation was set in the 2016 PP system, it would have been worth a measly 697 PP. The fact that more skill sets other than aim are viable now is a tremendous change for the health of the competitive rankings. The only reason why it doesn't feel that way is because mrekk is a major outlier of a player. All of the reworks to the PP system happened because of mappers like Sotarks, who continuously pushed the boundaries of farm maps. The presence of PP maps that heavily promoted the aim meta because every other skill was worthless inspired people to reevaluate how the PP system works. Changes were made slowly, and developers tried their best to account for edge cases. For all his controversies and divisiveness, the presence of a mapper like Sotarks is a net positive for the health of the game. His presence as a community member, though, has not been as positive. He's been obnoxious throughout his time as a public figure, constantly trying to be the center of attention. Now Tamori, a 5-year veteran of the Beat Map nominators, said it best on the map thread of Songs Compilation 1. Obviously ranking this is dumb. I mean, that's what Sotarks knows, and it's why he's ranking it anyway, to piss people off. And it worked. Pissing people off got them to talk about him, just like I am now. What's a shame is that he's a great mapper outside of all these farm map stunts. He has countless ranked maps that have sound concepts and strong execution, but those are not the maps that receive attention. Sotarks wanted to become a household name within the community, and he cultivated a polarizing personality in order to achieve that. So, how can PP records become special again? Well, they can't, because no one can dictate what top players do or do not play. mrekk can play whatever he wants, and he shouldn't feel like he has a debt to the community for playing a map they didn't like. As a community, we need to be more grateful that the best player in the game is genuinely motivated to keep playing and improving. That has not been the case multiple times in OSA's history, resulting in a stale competitive scene and stalled growth. You don't need to have uncontrollable excitement because mrekk set the first 2000 PP play on a map manufactured for that purpose, but it doesn't deserve to be ruthlessly discarded either. It's a tough score on a consistently difficult map. There are currently reworks in progress that change the value of the score anyway, so any feelings about the score abusing CSR and length bonus are likely to be addressed.
Hey, did I ever think a year ago that 2K was possible? Probably not. With how fast people are improving nowadays, I think there's an ongoing PP inflation. I genuinely think there's an ongoing PP inflation. That Songs compilation score, if I FC'd it, that would be 2.5k. Like 3000 PP is definitely doable in a year. People will start noticing it. Like there's gonna be 3000 for PP FC for FC maps. 3k PP is not physically possible. Well, I've had 4000 for FC maps. Like sure, it's a C rank, but it proves that it is physically possible.
If you've made it this far, you deserve a cookie, an OS cookie. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join my Discord server. Don't forget to join as a Prime Chicken, as I have now launched channel memberships. Becoming a channel member will have your name written at the beginning of every video thanking you for your support, gives you access to unique emojis to comment with, a custom role in my Discord server, and more. Thanks for watching.